and sit down.
What is going on, Dads? And welcome to episode 51 of the Dads After Dark Show, recorded on Sunday, June 27th, 2021. We're your hosts, Drew and John, and thank you for joining us tonight for some Nintendo and balls. Lots of golf balls, folks. I have been Mario golfing like crazy lately, but we'll get to that a little bit later in the show. John, buddy, how have you been? I missed you. I was solo last week. Can you believe it?
I know you did such a great job too. That was awesome.
Thank you. It was fun.
I was away and it was Father's Day, but you just did it, man. You banged it out. It was like a lunchtime bang. And
lunchtime.
Came.
Is that a common occurrence for you?
Like over here it is. I don't know about you.
Is that the beauty of working at home? You do a little lunchtime bang to get back to work.
Yeah, what do they call it? Like afternoon delight, right? You've heard that song.
Yeah, but I like lunchtime bang a lot better.
Lunchtime bang. Not with 3 kids in the house. There's no lunchtime bang.
Oh yes, that's true.
Well, they like doing school from home, you know. You can hear it in the background.
Just there in the bed, the little squeaking.
Yes.
So what have you been up to?
No, I went on a little vacation over the weekend.
That's right. You went to the cabin in the woods.
The YMCA. Yeah, we went to the YMCA.
Oh, I didn't know it was a YMCA campground.
It is. Yeah, we have a couple of YMCA camps. These are pretty big areas. They have cabins, lodges, all that jazz. They have tons of activities you can do. Some of them you have to pay more. I mean, it's like $8 a person for like an hour. We did archery. We did rock climbing. Wow. We did zip line. Drew.
Ooh.
Drew. I am afraid of heights. Okay.
Oh, God.
I'm not ashamed to admit it. I try to defeat my fear of heights. I've done rock climbing before with with the belay and everything, like not real rock climbing. Like
that's big out there in Colorado, isn't it?
Yeah.
Rock climbing.
Yeah.
Anyways.
I kind of enjoy it, but like the higher I go, the more panicky I get. I've never been able to get to the top. Okay. Anywho, we had signed up for ziplining, and I was kind of excited for ziplining. I really didn't think about it. I just thought, you climb up some stairs and you just hook up and you zip down. I was actually thinking, I think it was like $12 a person. And I was like, do you just do one zip or do you do multiple? And then we did a couple of activities and Michelle and I were like, yeah, you probably get to do like 2 or 3 zips, Okay, cool. Mm-hmm. So what is it? It was Saturday morning. We pull up to the zip line area. We're walking up. And Drew, I can't describe to you the mortal dread that faced us. Oh. This was not like, I told you, I was imagining like a staircase, like stairs, like, when you go to like a water park and you go up a set of stairs and then you go back the other way and you just go zip up to the top of the slide.
So you've never been ziplining before?
I've never ziplined before.
Okay, because that's not how I would envision. Well, I've been ziplining, and that's another story after this. But
I've done water parks, and that's what I expected. You climb up high, and you get on a line, and you zip down. Okay, cool. Okay. We show up. We're walking up. It is this platform, just a platform with 2 big stilts, just 2, not 4 or whatever, like a triangle or anything. 2 side by side, which was like okay, and a huge. Those long silver ladders that painters have, like you fold them into each other and you put them on the top of your truck.
Yeah.
And you pull it out and then you lock it in the middle.
Yeah.
And then you see them climb up. Yeah, they climb up the ladder. And around the middle, it gets really bouncy because it's 2 ladders basically glued together. Drew, that is what they have.
Well, it's the YMCA.
Going to the top. A fully extended, 50-foot ladder or however high it was. It was, but it had to be like 50. Yeah, it was 50 feet. 50 feet.
Don't tell me you didn't do this zip line.
To describe to you the feeling in my stomach.
Oh, you needed a couple Trulies before you went.
So I'm looking at this ladder, And then I'm looking at how high the zip line is, and then that this platform is on just 2 legs, horizontal. Like, where's the vertical bound? Like, I don't know. I was like terrified. I was not sure I was going to go through with it. I don't care about the $12. I don't need a refund.
Your kids are probably like, yeah.
Oh no. All of us were signed up. Melody looked terrified. I was terrified. And even Michelle was a little like, whoa. Yeah, we got like suited up, and then they, do the directions. Yeah. They said there's 2 ways up to the top platform. There were like a telephone pole with these spikes in one of those posts. Yeah. And you could just climb up, and it's like, no way can I do that. Like, I can't even physically.
Now, are you already zip-lined into the harness? So like you can't fall.
You have somebody who's holding a rope that's holding your weight as you climb up. So
if you fell, you weren't falling to your death.
Not a free fall, right? And then they had what they were calling the sketchy ladder, what a great name. Yeah. So they're calling it the sketchy ladder. Now the ladder was anchored at the top, so it wasn't like someone just like leaned it up against and then walked away. It was, but oh my God, I had no idea how I was going to get up there. And so, yeah, like I was sitting there filming and whatever, just like, I don't know how I'm going to do this. And eventually it was my turn. And I just decided, okay, I'm going to go up the sketchy ladder, even though I'm terrified. I'm not even understanding. I was terrified, Drew.
This is great. This is great entertainment here.
But I knew I couldn't go up the pole. The pole was more stable, but just required more work. And I'm like,
physical strength. I'm sure most people couldn't even get up there if they tried.
Right. I'm like 220 pounds. Like, I'm not there's no way.
Yeah.
So I decide I'm going to go up the sketchy ladder. I didn't know if I should. I didn't want to look up. I didn't want to look down. I didn't know where to look. So I tried to look straight ahead, and I just started climbing. And my when you're like, my arms are weak. I was terrified. And I'm just doing one step at a time. Like, I'm just thinking, just do a step. Don't think about where you are. Just do a step. So I'm doing that. I'm like, step. And I'm looking forward. But now I'm getting higher up the trees. And I'm getting to the middle of the ladder. And there's like a rope down the middle of it. So like, you have to kind of like jam your feet in. And the ladder is just like shaking. I am terrified. And I'm just like, step. And you're at a point where you can't go back down. Like, if I'm scared, I'm already like, going down is harder.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, just go. Step. And now I can see over the trees, and there's nowhere for me to look. I can't look up. I look up. I don't like looking up. Looking down's terrifying. I don't want to look down. I never look down. But looking straight ahead wasn't working either, because I could see how high I was.
Just close your eyes and climb.
I just closed my eyes, and I just like step.
You're the first one of your family up now?
No. Michelle had gone up, and Sebastian had gone up. I was the third. But yeah, I kept like, then towards the top, I kept looking to see where I can grab onto. All I wanted to do was get onto the platform.
So did all 5 family members make it to the platform?
Oh, we all did it. In the end. In fact, everybody who signed up did it.
So regrets? Mm-hmm. Or, I mean, was it as fearful as you thought?
It was more terrifying. Yeah, the ladder was terrifying. I got up to the platform. I was shaking. My limbs were shaking. I was holding on to things. And the platform was like in the breeze. It was like moving. I didn't expect that. And I was up there for a good probably 7 minutes before I could actually zip down. I just wanted to get off the zip. I was scared of doing the zip line, but I was actually not as scared of the zip line as everything else. So once I was up there, I was like, get me on this zip. And then they hook you up. And like Michelle had said, she was scared for the first second because you kind of jump off the platform and you got to trust it. And I was like, just jump and whatever. And I jumped, and yeah, like you're like, is it going to hold me? And then once it holds you, the rest of the ride is like easy. You're like, okay, I'm good.
Yeah.
But then you get to the end, you go way past the end, and then you come back. They brought out like a step ladder. They throw a rope at you have to catch, and then they kind of reel you in, and it takes like a couple of minutes to get off the thing. Huh. But oh my God, it was like terrifying. It was one of the scariest things I think I've ever done.
Oh, John, you're better than that.
But I had to do it, right? You're going to tell your kids not to be afraid of something or whatever. And then they're going to say, well, Dad, remember on the zip line, you just bailed. So exactly. I had to do it. But yeah, it was fun. I mean, I'll never do it again.
My God.
I would go up I would do the zip line again. I would go upstairs again, but I'm not going up the ladder. Yeah, that ladder was terrifying.
We for our honeymoon, we went to the Dominican Republic, and we took this 1.5-hour bus ride to the top of this mountain in the rainforest. It was amazing. And we did zip lining in Dominican Republic in the rainforest. And I'll try to keep it short, but so essentially there were 13 zip lines, and it was like a path adventure. So once you started, the only way to get back was to do all 13 zip lines.
Oh, what?
And John, they were so high because we were at the top of the mountain, is that we were above the rainforest, so you couldn't even see the ground. You were above the trees,
right?
And it was, I'll just say this, the longest zip line was over 900 feet long.
Oh, my God.
Think of it, 3 football fields. It was amazing. It was as short as 100 and something feet all the way to 900 feet. It was amazing. It was one of the best experiences ever.
Did anybody bail? I mean,
No, we had a group of 15 people maybe, or 12 people.
Yeah. Was it pretty efficient to get on the zip line and get down?
It was really efficient because you had, it was all towers that was above the trees a little bit, and then obviously you're going down a little bit, so you'd have to it would rope bridges to the next tree. You might have to climb up a little bit of stairs, and then you go back down a little. It was awesome.
Oh my God, yeah. I don't, no way.
So it's not from zip lining. Me and my wife are sitting at my house the other day, and there's a knock on the door. Amazon, everyone gets Amazon weekly. I feel like nowadays, no big deal.
Daily.
So we waited a few minutes. My wife went out later. I think I was playing Mario Golf, and she grabs the box. And she goes, "What the hell is this?" And I was like, "What are you talking about?" She goes, "Why would you order an eggplant pool float?" And I was like, "Wait a minute. I didn't order no eggplant pool float." I was like, read it. What does it say? She goes, "Well, it says to the Diffusco family." And I'm sitting in my lazy boy playing Mario Golf, and you know what the first thing I says is? I go, "God damn it, that has to be Blanco. It has to be." So what's the first thing I do is I text you and said, "John, did you send me an eggplant?" And yes, I did. So John, thank you for the amazing pool float. My kids love it. I will say, the best part about it was, every once in a while you order it from Amazon, and they don't come in a brown box. They just ship it in the package, and they slap a sticker on it. Oh, really? Yeah. This was just the eggplant, huge eggplant box with the sticker on it. So the delivery guy, everyone knew they were delivering this giant eggplant to my house.
That was awesome.
It was great.
I was sitting there working, and I got an email saying your package has arrived, and I'm like, "Oh yes, here we go."
It was amazing. Yeah. So if you want to see some pictures, we have some pictures in our Discord, and I don't know, John, if you posted it on Twitter or not. You said you might. I replicated the photographer, the photograph on the cover. Yeah, fantastic.
It's a guy taking a selfie, but somebody's taking a picture of him.
Correct.
So yeah, it's a little weird, but yeah, you replicated it quite well.
I tried.
I photoshopped the picture to give you pasties, and you gotta have fun. But yeah, it looks great. The picture, the float looks like it's photoshopped in. It's it's got shading and stuff on it. It's
great. It's a great float. It's very slippery. I will say the eggplant is slippery. It's tough to get on.
You got to get a good hold of it. And it's pretty big, so I mean,
you just gotta be aggressive and just jump on it.
Yeah. I was looking for the most ridiculous floaty I could find, and then I saw that one, and I was like, I don't know if this is the most ridiculous. Like a giant unicorn might be the cooler one, but I said Drew will know what this means. I
knew. And the funny part that you say that is my mom came over today really quick just to say hi. See the kids were in the pool, and I pull out my eggplant, and she said she tried to like laugh. She's like, "Oh, is that an eggplant?" I'm like, "Yeah, ha ha ha." My buddy said, like, I don't think she understands the eggplant emoji.
Yeah.
So she's probably just like, "Why would this guy send him an eggplant?" But
Yeah.
I get it. My wife gets it. So John, before we get into what we're playing, this is the day of Mario Golf, right? This is it. So I wanted to share with you some golf jokes, because why not? So I'm gonna share these with you. Let's see. What does masturbation and four-putting have in common? If you don't know what four-putting means, it just means you're on the green and you four-putt. It's something that you never want to do. It's three-putting is bad. Four-putting means like you suck. So right. Masturbation and four-putting have in common. The answer is, even though you're a little ashamed of what you have just done, you know you'll do it again. What's the difference between a G-spot and a golf ball lost in the rough?
Oh, God.
Guys will spend at least 5 minutes looking for the golf ball. And here's the last one for you. What is the similarity between golf and sets? Even though you are really bad at both, you know you can still enjoy it.
Nice.
Those are my fun little jokes for you there. But all right, John, let's start talking about some video games here.
All right, Drew, we are going to hold off on our Mario Golf talk. We both played it. We both have a lot to say about it. I cannot wait to talk about it. But we're going to put that into the top 10. And let's talk about games we played these past couple weeks. I will start. I think I mentioned a handful of weeks ago, I kind of ran out of games on my Switch backlog. So I just went through my shelves and kind of looked for games that I owned already that I wanted to play.
Should have played Mana Spark, John. You didn't play that.
Not that yet. And one of the games I put on that list was Shantae and the Seven Sirens. I've never played a Shantae game. We've seen several of them be released for the Switch. I think there's 5 now. I'm
excited to hear your opinion on this one, because this was intriguing.
The thing about series, and the thing with me, is that sometimes I get intimidated by a game there's many games in the series, because I instinctively want to play the first one. And then the first one is like, the first Shantae is like a Game Boy Color game. The cartridge is like worth hundreds of dollars, by the way. It's a really expensive cartridge. In fact, Limited Run did a remake of it recently. I'm actually waiting for it. But it's like, I don't want to play the first one. The first one's like 20 years old and is, lousy by today's standards. But I decided, you know what? I'll play the most recent one. We'll just play the most recent one, and we'll go backwards if I like it. So Shantae and the Seven Sirens came out, I think, not long, 2019 or whatever. It's not long ago. And I didn't even know what the game genre was. But it animation looks good and everything. So I gave it a try. I loved it.
It's like a side scroller, right?
It is, yeah.
Platformer?
This one's a Metroidvania. Okay. I don't know if all of them are. They're definitely all like platform type or whatever. This one's a Metroidvania. I had a blast. I did a 30-second review on it, so you can check that out on our channel. It's really colorful. What's funny is I didn't realize the Shantae character was a little bit sexualized. At least in this
with that.
game.
I like that.
Even when the game starts off, she's like shaking her boobs, shaking her butt, shaking her hips. They don't overdo it, and her voice acting's pretty like cute. But like she's got like sisters or whatever, and I mean they all have like huge chests, and they're all like perfect.
With that?
But I gotta say I really enjoyed this. I like my Metroidvanias a certain way. I like to be able to navigate the map quickly. If I have to get from one side of the map to the other, if I can go flying through, I just love it. If you can just get through these like screens just fast, like boom, boom, double jump, dash, jump, go. I love it, and it's the reason why I love Ori, and I don't like Hollow Knight. It's because it's just so quick to navigate, and in this game, Shantae can just burn rubber through screens. There's bunches of warp points, not too many, but not too few. Yeah, there's collectibles. There are like so many things, classic Metroidvania. You come to it, you're like, ooh, I can't get this, like I think what do they call them, like heart squids or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't get this heart squid right now. And then later on, you get some power, and you're like, oh, now I know I can go get that heart squid. There was like some power ups for digging through dirt. There's power ups for getting through water. It was great. I got stuck in one place, and I was stuck for like almost 2 hours.
Oh,
and when I get stuck in a Metroidvania, I love to just keep looking, because you'll always find other things while you're looking.
Okay.
And I eventually hit a point where I had seen and done everything. And so I had to look it up, and it was the stupidest thing. It was like you had to go back to a place that you were, and I literally had gotten there and then said, oh, no, I'm not where I'm supposed to be, and left. But that's where you're supposed to be. And I didn't get stuck for the rest of the game. So, yeah, you probably won't either. But it was really fun. I started it when I came home from the YMCA. So I started it Monday afternoon, and I beat the game by, I think, Tuesday evening. I really just couldn't stop playing the game. So that tells you how much I enjoyed it. I just couldn't stop playing. I really, really loved it. So, yeah, so I might try a couple of the other Shantae games that are on the Switch. I think there's Half Genie Hero and then Pirate's Curse or something like that.
Okay.
But yeah, I was really impressed. I really enjoyed it. So, yeah, I would definitely recommend that. Shantae and the Seven Sirens. And then, yeah, I played Game Builder Garage some more. I haven't played it as much as I thought I would. But I keep coming back to it. I keep doing more tutorials. I'm working on a Breakout game. And I just sort of started Breakout, but I'm not sitting there trying to just finish it. I'm like
that's right.
dabbling with it. I'll do some tutorials, then I'll dabble with it, and then I'll, learn something, and then I'll dabble with it. But that's my first game that I'm trying to make. There is some crazy cool stuff that people are making. It's absurd.
So
there's
a demo for this game. If I downloaded the demo, would I be able to play your level?
Maybe.
That'd be pretty. There's no way they would allow that, right?
It's kind of a game you either want or don't. I don't know what a demo would do for you.
I just want to. If I could play other people's games, I would. But I can't imagine a demo allows you to do that.
Yeah, that seems like that would be taking advantage. I don't know. But it's really cool. It's creative, and it reminds me of Mario Maker, obviously. But in Mario Maker, you mostly you're just making Mario games. Some people try to do some weird things with Mario Maker, but you're kind of locked in. Mm-hmm. This game, you can build anything, and there are people that are making 3D first-person shooters, and these are like massive amounts of like thought and stuff. These are not like easy things to put together. But there's some really cool stuff that people are making, and yeah, it's really enjoyable. I think kids, really take to it. My son's been playing it and like learning how to like make stuff. But they have tutorials. The tutorials can be a little wordy, but for the most part, they get quicker after a couple. They have challenges where there's something wrong with a game and you got to figure it out. And then the rest is like using other people's codes, playing other people's stuff, and then making your own stuff. And I think some people are going to play it and then put it down and never touch it again. Some people will play this for 10 or 20 years. I mean, I guarantee you there's going to be people that are going to be playing this for years and years and years and years. You just really don't know. I can't sit down and just play nothing but this game because I program for a living, so this is not a break for me. But yeah, no, I'm really enjoying it. It's very creative, and it's fun. The way they make the programming is it's fun to put together. So I definitely recommend it. The third game I just wanted to talk about a little bit. I'm shocked. I've been wanting to play Sekiro: Shadows Die Twice for like 2 years now. I already told the story. I'm not going to tell it again. But lo and behold, it was on sale, 50% off. I bought it, and I'm playing it on Xbox. This is like a Dark Souls like genre of game. What do they call them? The Soulsborne games. It's not Dark Souls, but it's the same people and it's the same style. This one, Sekiro: Shadows Die Twice, you are basically a samurai ninja, and there's more elements of stealth in this game. You don't have to do stealth, but there are options for it. And the way they do it in many cases is really freaking cool. I mean, you could just go in and walk up to guys and just fight them. Or you can find different paths through the area and sneak up on them. You can come up right from behind them and just stab them through the neck. That's usually the way they call it a death blow with some people. There are bosses in the game where you can start off with like a stab in the neck. You won't kill them, but you have to beat them twice, and that counts as once. There's some really creative things they do with it. I really loved it. I did. I loved it. The bosses were challenging, but
you're completely done with it now? You beat it?
No, I'm completely done with it. I hate it. I don't know what happened. I loved the game until I left for vacation. I came back, I played some more, still liked it. And I was actually sitting there thinking, is this the best Soulsborne game? And I was like, I think it is, because I really love the stealth part of it. I loved it. And they challenge you to you have a sword, and that's all. You don't choose like the Dark Souls games. You don't have different characters. You have one character and you have a sword. And it's about swinging your sword and parrying with your sword. You just like in every other game, right? You block just when they're about to hit you. Mm-hmm. And then there's some other mechanics. You can get some special attacks that you can like substitute in. You can't use them all at one time, but you can use one at a time. And but for the most part, you are swinging your sword and you are parrying with your sword and you're dodging out of the way. And that's how you're going to fight all the enemies. I was having trouble with many of the bosses. You get through an area, maybe you die a couple times, and then you get to a boss, and then, oh my God, die. When you die in this game, you lose half your gold and you lose half your experience points. So you don't want to die. It hinders your progress in certain areas. But in the normal Soulsborne games, when you die, you leave your experience points on the battlefield. And when you start back from the bonfire, if you get back to your souls that are on the ground, you pick them up, you have them again. Mm-hmm. And it's kind of a cool mechanic because you can decide, do I want to go back and try to get them and then run away, or go back, pick them up, and then try to kill who I was trying to kill? I started to hate the game yesterday. The pattern was becoming cool. Oh, I found this new area, this castle. You explore the castle, you fight some enemies, you kill a couple dogs. There's these big roosters that you like fight. I can't even describe it. It's hilarious. But you can like stealth kill the roosters and you're like, wah! But you get to a boss or a sub boss or a sub boss. There's lots of bosses. And they are so hard. It's like, if an enemy has a sword and you just figure out how to parry, sword attack, kill. Okay, cool. It's fun. But the bosses have like a health bar. They're super spongy. You never really feel powerful in the game. And so when you hit them, you just take little bits of health off. And then usually when you get to the end of their health bar, you do a death blow. And then their energy bar refills and you got to do it again. Ugh. It takes forever. And they have 5-foot swords. And they're so fast. They're like, attack, jump, attack. It's like relentless. Most of the time when I parry, I feel like it's not even working, because if you are fighting a regular enemy and you miss the parry by a little bit, you'll take some damage and move on with your day. When you fight a boss and you miss the parry, it could be a one-hit kill. Or at least it's going to take like 3/4 of your energy. So with like, you don't even want to do it because the risk is huge and there's very little reward. A parry will like barely make a dent in their posture. And if their posture bar maximizes, then you can do a death blow on them. But it's like, but one parry versus if you miss that parry is monstrous.
Sounds miserable.
The cycle of the game was get through the level, get to a boss, die 20 times, go on YouTube, figure out how to beat this boss. Someone has found some cheeseball way to do it. Oh, if you walk near the tree and then he comes to you and then you walk away from the tree, he gets stuck in the tree and then you can just swing your sword at him. There was one where it's like jump on the platform. When he jumps up there, hit him and then jump off the platform. Wait for him to jump off the platform, hit him and then jump on the platform. So in the end, there's not like nobody beats these enemies using real skill because it's way too difficult. Yeah. And there's so little room for error. So everyone just figures out some cheeseball way to do it. Well, that's not fun. How about when I fight a boss, if they hit me, maybe they take a quarter of my health away. Maybe they have 1 health bar, and it's realistic. When I shove a sword in their neck, they're dead. How about that?
That's
It's
not
just
fun, though.
there's so much suspension of reality. And so I really enjoyed the game parts, but I just began loathing. And then you get to a boss, and then the next boss is like a minute away, and you do the same dance again. And the bosses are just cruelly unfair, and they really do demand that you spend days or weeks even trying to beat them. So I just was having no fun, and in the end, I had to just keep looking at YouTube anyway. So sure, could I have beaten the game, Drew? Yeah, I'm sure if I looked up enough YouTube, videos to figure out how to beat every single boss, I would get through it. Was I having fun doing that? Absolutely not. It was horrible. So yeah, and so I mean, it sucks. I wasted $30. I had fun with it, but I wanted to beat it, and so I mean, like, this has really changed my outlook on games now. I think I am done with the Soulsborne games forever. This ruined me on Soul. I had beaten 3 of them.
I was done when I did the demo on Dark Souls for the Switch.
That demo sucked.
That was where I ended.
That demo sucked. They started you in the middle. It was terrible.
It was. I did him to 10 feet.
I've gotten through 3 of the games. I'm done. And I'm gonna look for fun. I'm gonna try Yakuza, Like a Dragon or whatever. It's supposed to be really funny. And it's like, look, you don't need the misery of this. Honestly, and this was one of the consensus games of the year in 2019. Like, fuck that, man. Like, fuck that. This is not a game of the year. You know what that is? That is people who play the game and like secretly find cheats and use hint guides and maybe beat the game and then or not, and then say it's the game of the year because they want to seem like they're really good gamers. This just is not fun. Even if you can get through the game, even if you could beat every boss and you died 40 times every single boss here, it's not fun. It's misery. And the last thing I'll say about it is it's one of those things where you could fight a boss 30 times and then beat that boss the 31st time. And you feel like, oh, I learned. Look at me. I'm so accomplished. I learned. Guess what? If you played that boss 20 more times, you're still going to die. You got lucky on that one time that your parries just happened to not be late that time. You dodged out of the way. You hit the button too early, but the boss had jumped at you. You just got lucky. You don't learn enough that you're consistently beating that boss. I guarantee you some of the bosses I beat, I couldn't beat them again. So, yeah, I'm done. I'm going to play something else.
Good for you.
I'm done. Sorry. How about you? What have you been playing?
Like I've been saying, I was kind of in the drought beforehand, before Mario Golf, but Miitopia, we finally finished that, completed the game, and I say we, because again, I can't take the credit. I started out strong. My kids really dominated in the middle of the game, and for this case, my wife was the one that finished. She went hard. I think I told you the other day, I came down the stairs the other day. This was like a few days after she beat the game. And she's playing Miitopia. And I'm like, what are you doing? She's like, oh, I'm playing Miitopia. I'm like, didn't you beat the game? She's like, yes. But they still let you play. There's like some post-game content. You can create now the other classes that you didn't create.
Yes.
And level them up. And I'm like, God bless you. Like,
That's awesome.
So she's still, I guarantee you she's playing right this second while we're podcasting.
Pretty hot, Drew.
Yeah. I guess so. I guess, yeah, sure. Anyways, the other thing we did was, don't hate me, that big sale that was happening. We did, it was like the last night of the sale. This was a few days before Mario Golf came out. I think the sale ended like on a Monday or Tuesday. Mm-hmm. And I was just looking at the sale items, and my wife's a huge Lego video gamer. She loves all the Lego games. So I said, hell, you know what? I like playing games with my wife every once in a while. Let's pick up the Jurassic World Lego game. It was regular $40. It was on sale for $10. so we've been playing that. I don't really know. It starts off in the first movie, the Jurassic Park movie. So
The
I don't know.
original Jurassic Park or Jurassic World?
Nope, the original Jurassic Park.
Okay.
So I don't know if it's like all 5 movies that are out or what, but I'm having fun with it. You know, it's just like every other Lego game, but I like playing with the wife and it's fun. So Jurassic World Lego. But that's it. And then I'd say in the last 48 hours or whatever it's been that Mario Golf has been out, I've probably spent 50% of my time playing that.
Yes.
I probably have, 15 hours in.
I'm not surprised, but I'm impressed nonetheless.
I beat the adventure mode, I think, like the first day.
All right, well, let's get into it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Sorry. Let's get to the top 10.
Jump into the top 10.
Number 10.
Mario Golf Super Rush. Wow, I can't. I'm still in like a little awe and shock that it's here.
Mm-hmm.
So you've played a decent amount, right?
I have. Yes.
The first thing I did, I'm assuming most people did, is I just booted up Adventure Mode. I said, I just want to play through Adventure Mode. And I'm going to give you this non-spoiler review. Adventure Mode is great. It's perfect. It's not super long. I think we all kind of knew that going into any sports story mode that we've seen ever has never been like this 25-hour thing. So I didn't expect it to be long. It did a great job at introducing all types of elements of golf. I think the controllers were super smooth. I love almost like an RPG type game that it shows the arrow on where you're supposed to go and who you're supposed to talk to. Exploring each little town and level and world was fantastic. Even late in adventure mode, they introduced new mechanics. They're constantly introducing new mechanics. John, they had cross-country golf. Remember when they had the trailer many, many months ago, and we talked about this, and I said, I bet you they add. I really said I hope they add cross-country golf.
Oh, that's a real thing?
It is and it's not. It's not something that you go play. So cross-country golf is referred to. I used to play with some buddies when I was a member at a country club. Like it's like a 5 or 6 p.m. thing. There's not a lot of people on the golf course, and you would tee off on hole 1, and you just say, "Let's go to the green on hole 4," and you just hit driver. You know, you're not even aiming for the hole 1. You're just aiming wherever, and you go across the golf course to hole 4, and then once you get in hole 4, you say, "All right, let's go to hole 7," and you play to that hole. Mm-hmm. It's not really like an official thing. It's just more of a thing that people do every once in a while. But you can't just go do this at a public golf course on the weekend. You're going to kill somebody, right? Because there's going to be people on every hole. So it's really something you have to do at like a private club, later at night when there's not a lot of people out. But it's a fun thing, and I'm glad they have it. But overall, there's tons of stuff they're constantly introducing. I love the course design. I thought it was fabulous. The characters are tons of fun. They did definitely a different strategy with the character types than they've done in the past games, as far as like their skill sets, which I thought was wonderful. But yeah, I guess if someone said name 3 things that you don't like about the game, and I had to pick, I guess the first one that I find very obviously noticeable for me, being a golf game, was textures. I think the textures were very flat in this game. I noticed it, I think, on Donkey Kong early on. Just like the hair, it's just, again, a flat texture. Almost like N64 type quality.
Right. I
noticed it on, like, the greens and some of the grass. Like again, it's almost like when you're in PowerPoint and you want to use, like, an image for, like, it's a weird texture that's, don't get me wrong, the game looks beautiful, but when you zoom in too much on a certain area, right. And characters like Mario and stuff like that, that's fine. The flat textures are perfect. But when you have characters like a Donkey Kong or someone with hair or the grass, it just looks a little flat to me. I don't know if you picked up on that.
I did when I was like right up against like the big rocky mountain, and it was like you're running up it, and you're like, ugh, like these textures are really like they're like very low res. I don't know, like it was, but I noticed it.
Let me. I got my 2 other ones. So my second problem I have was, I'm sure you've you've played around with the spin, right? Top spin and bat spin. So no.
They did tell me how to do the backspin. I'm not sure if I'm doing it right.
So all Mario games in the past, when you hit the A button, the meter goes up. At the very top, you can either double tap A, and then it's going to go up again, right? And then, but when you double tap A, it does top spin. If you hit B at the top, it does bat spin. If you double tap B, it does super bat spin.
Is that in this game or in previous?
Yes, that's this game.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay.
It's the first time you hit A that gets the top of the meter.
I always hit A at the top of the meter.
No, if you double tap A, it'll do top spin, which means it will roll further. And if you hit B, bat spin, double tap B, super bat spin.
Oh, okay, cool. All right.
So here's my problem with this is, in the past games, I felt like it did a better. It did a little bit better in the sense where you hit A and it goes up, and you hit A to stop it, and then on the second A up, or in the old school games, I think it was left to right. You then controls your spin. So the cool part about that would be is, let's say you hit A and you stop it a little bit sooner than you wanted to, like before the flag. Then on your second go through, you should be able to say, shit, I want to add top spin. I want it to roll out a little bit further. But they did it the opposite, so you can't really adjust on the fly. Maybe that's me nitpicking.
They let you on the second one. They let you do the curve or loop your ball, so maybe that could help you. But yeah.
But they did a fabulous job with that fade in and drawing the ball and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
I guess my third problem, I would say, is the customization of the characters. It's fine, but you can't change the outfits really, or you can't really do too much with the characters themselves. Besides the Mii, right? The Mii, enough with the Mii for a minute. Just the actual characters, the Mario characters. I just wish you could do something. I don't know what, but change it up a little bit,
Yeah.
So I guess those are my three big gripes, but they're not game changer for me. I love the game overall. It's fabulous. It's a lot of fun. I played online. a little bit. You can just go to search and find random people to play with, and there's a lot of customization filters, so you would depend on what time of golf you want to play. If someone wants to play, reach out to me. I'll play with you online. What's your take on the speed golf?
I was really excited about the speed golf when I saw it in the trailer. Okay, so I've only played the campaign mode. I have yet. I just want to finish the campaign mode before I do anything else.
Which is a lot of speed golf in the campaign mode.
It's all speed golf.
It's all speed golf.
Yeah. And I've gotten really sick of it because I don't know. Like, I think each character has their own special moves, but is it the Mii character just does the super dash? Is that what it is?
Every character does have something a little bit different. Yep.
So the super dash is not something everyone can do. That's what your Mii character can do.
Yeah. So for example, if you do like King Bob-omb, he a bunch of little bombs come out and he rides on them and if you do Luigi, he uses an ice flower and ice skates. So that they all have different little power-ups when you're running. Yep.
I think that makes it asynchronous too, because really in the campaign mode, I hit the ball and then it's I pick up my gloves and I press L immediately to dash.
Yep.
And I'm trying to look for hearts and I'm dashing. And then I've leveled it up because I'm trying to make playing the campaign mode a little more palatable. And then I can do another dash and I'm hoping to find a heart. And it's just but then I run out of dash and then I just have to run. Or if I'm close to my ball, I'll run. If I'm not, I just walk or whatever it is they do until I can dash again. It's really boring. There's not much contact going on or anything like that. So I kind of look forward to the characters having some special moves or whatever. It's a little dry. And it's I just want to hit the next ball. You make me run there.
I know.
Sometimes they have a clock or whatever.
I agree. And I avoid the other guys. It's not fun to hit them because most of the modes, it doesn't matter how long it really takes you to get it in the hole. It's irrelevant.
It doesn't matter.
I mean, there's other modes that you can, right? You can set modes where the time does get added to your score, which is kind of cool. But most of the story mode, it doesn't matter. It's all about what you shoot.
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense if it's first one to get the ball in the hole. It doesn't matter how many times you hit it, right? Because if you're hitting it 10 times, you're probably not winning anyway.
Correct.
But the first person to get it in the hole, so it gives you the chance you can like, hit the ball into the hole, even though somebody's going to get it on their three putt on a third shot. Yeah. But you like launch one into the hole.
Yeah.
It's a terrible game design right now because you are making me do the speed rush, whatever you call it, speed golf. And there's no reason for it. All it's doing is taking up my time. It doesn't matter. I have to get, if I get a par, I get par. It doesn't matter if it took 10 minutes or whatever. And they're trying to gameize it by like giving you a timer and saying you have to finish these 9 holes in 10 minutes or something like that. Sure, fine. But it's not exciting. I'm just sprinting, and that's it.
I agree. I'll say since I finished the adventure mode, I don't think I played one game of speed golf. Everything else is just standard golf where you hit the ball and then you just magically show up where your shot is.
There was one part in the campaign mode so far where it wasn't speed golf, and it was jarring to me. It was like, because when you play speed golf, when you hit the ball, the camera doesn't move, and then it follows you as you run.
Yep.
When you play regular golf, the camera goes above the ball, and you actually get a sense of like where the ball is, and you kind of get excited. You're like, "Ooh, this is a good one!" Ooh.
Yeah. Oh, don't throw the bunker! Don't throw the bunker! Yeah, it's more.
So I think one time they did it that way, and it's just like, it's, and then I mean, you say the adventure mode is perfect. It's not.
It's not perfect. I think it was not fun. Even.
I am very disappointed by the campaign mode. I actually think I like the tennis campaign mode better, and here's why.
Okay.
I didn't love the tennis campaign mode, just to start it off. I thought it was a little dry, and it was like, running from segment to segment. But what I did like about it was, here's a tennis challenge, that sort of thing. And I find that stuff fun. Like, this isn't a game of tennis. It is a challenge to hit targets or something like that. And the golf game does have that. Every so often they'll say, here, hit the ball into these zones, to learn how this club works, that sort of thing. But first thing you notice is there are way too many NPCs with quote bubbles.
Oh my God, there's a lot.
And that nobody says anything useful, or at least the first 5 of them didn't.
No, none of them
stopped. So I go to the table with the Koopas. And then I go to the course, and then if I have to go to my room to fall asleep, that's all I do. It's all these people, like Koopas and Goombas and all that with the bubbles, and it's like, what?
Even each town that has like the restaurant or the cafe or the locker rooms, there's there's no point in even going to them. I agree with you. I mean, at least if you went to one and there was a little side quest, like, oh, there's a hidden mushroom somewhere in this town. Why don't you find it and you get an extra point to go to your, or you get experience points. Something, I agree with that. I mean, what world are you on? Let me ask you that.
I am in the desert.
Okay. So I will say,
you do the back 9, and there's like, you can't get past hole 15 or something like that.
Stuff starts to develop now. I was getting to that point too, where it was like, all right, it's getting pretty repetitive. Like every town you go to, there's a new style play that you learn. You have to qualify. You play the tournament, and you move on. Stuff starts happening soon, and it kind of changes the pace of the game. That's all I'll say.
Okay.
In a good way. And it's weird because right now there's no storyline. Let me just tell you that quickly changes 75% into the adventure mode.
Okay. Because I was going to say, a lot of these AAA, I do the same thing with restaurants that I do with AAA games, right? If I go to a restaurant and I paid like $90 for dinner, I go, how did this compare to Chipotle? Yeah. Like, would I have rather have gone to Chipotle twice than go to this restaurant? And so I'm doing it with this one, which is I can compare this to Golf Story, which is all campaign mode, essentially, and say, wow, they made their campaign mode really fun. How come Camelot can't do this? And, like, the dialogue is very stilted. There's nothing fun about it. The characters are not saying anything interesting. I was pointing this out to Dan today. when you have to go back to your room to fall. First of all, sometimes they tell you to just go to sleep in the lounge or whatever. It's so weird. Like, why do you tell me? There's parts where they're like, well, you got to come back in the morning or something. Like, let's just do it now. Like
you literally just go sleep and up right back.
Yeah. And they're like, go in the door next to us and go to sleep and come. It's so stupid. But there's times where you have to go back to your home and go to sleep, and you make you go into your home, but your room is not right there. You can't just go to sleep. Like, going into your room should just make you go to sleep. There's nothing in your home to do. They make you go up the stairs and then go to the fourth room down the hallway. And it's like, Jesus. And then you wake up and they make you walk out of your room, which is another loading animation. So you wake up, you open the door, it does a quick loading animation. Then you're in the hallway. You have to go down the hallway to the stairs, loading animation. Off the stairs, out of your home, another loading animation.
Really?
Why?
I didn't notice the loading that much, though.
It's a very quick load. It's not a long load.
Yeah.
But
they have
like,
shitty
why?
textures.
When I walk into my house, there is nothing I can do in my house. There's like a Koopa there, or Birdo, and there's nothing he talks to you about. Just when I go into my house, why do I even have to go to my house? Just let me play the competition. If you lose a qualifier, or not even a qualifier, like a practice, you have to go back to the Koopas and then go back to the course to do it a second time.
Well, I didn't lose any. So
I'm at the course now. I told you where they said the 15th hole is backed up because of water, and you have 10 minutes to get through every 3 holes or something like that.
Yeah.
And now twice I ran out of time because, and here's my biggest complaint so far, Drew, these fucking mountain courses where the hole is 3 stories above you and you have to hit the 9-iron or something to get the ball up onto the top of the parking garage. And if you miss, it'll hit the mountain and go ricocheting somewhere. Listen, it's like, what is
all
this?
I'm going to say is you got to use real golf mechanics, folks. If you're 3 feet in front of a rock wall, you're not going to get over it. You may have to hit the ball backwards.
Yes.
I've done it. Sometimes you need to look at where you are. Here's a hint. If you push start, you can go to a feature that says, like, pretty much you forfeit your shot, and it goes back to your previous shot, and you take a penalty stroke.
Oh, really?
So you take a penalty stroke, but sometimes it's better to do that. Like if you're in a spot that you just can't get out of, right? Listen, I get it. I understand what you're saying about adventure mode. For me, it was fun because it was golf and it was Mario, and that's all I need in my life. But yes, I would have done things differently. I also think that there were so many easy ways to have added bonus things. I was so disappointed when I saw the main menu, like solo challenges. I'm like, amazing. I don't know if you guys even dug into this yet. Not to be the party.
I love challenge modes.
So I said, that's awesome. After the adventure mode, that's going to give me so much content to play. I'm going to be blunt. If you don't love Mario Golf, after adventure mode, there's going to be, I bet you, 85% of the people that stop playing this game. There's nothing to do.
Wait, well, what about the challenge mode? Is it not?
No, I don't understand it. It's not any challenges. You literally just play golf. It's no different than play golf mode. I don't really understand the point of it. There's 0 challenges. So my point is that, like, I personally am in playing now every course with every person again. And I don't really think this is a spoiler alert. If it is, I just fast forward 30 seconds. As you guys know, there's no unlockable characters. We have them all.
That's really weird.
It's weird, but I'll talk to that about it in a second. There is something they call unlockable club sets, where you can get 1-star or 2-star gold clubs, which significantly improve the stats for the Nintendo characters. And in order to unlock those, all you have to do is play golf with those people. The more golf you play, the more star points you get. And to see how many star points you have, you go to player stats, characters, and then you'll see at the very bottom of the screen for each character. And it tells you right under there, 1,000 star gets this club set, and then you need 3,000 star points to get the next one. So, my goal is just to start playing with every character, play the different courses, and unlock it. But, no, Chad, I think you're right. I mean, they could have easily done challenges, where you hit targets or things like that. I mean, I would have loved to see a mini golf mode. right? We saw that in the N64 version. But no, we all know that DLC is coming, right? We saw the new Daunt City trailer or screenshots or video or whatever it was. So we know DLC's coming in the future, and I feel like they definitely either pulled content out or they didn't put content in purposely because of that.
I think they're just it's continuing as they go. I don't think they held anything back. I agree with Marty to an extent. Like, having a game feel like a little bereft of content is, can be disappointing. But on the other hand, I don't mind the way it's set up right now. I mean, you play the campaign mode, you go play, and then you go play online. I mean, it's like Splatoon, right? Like, all you're doing is playing online. There wasn't a lot of content in Splatoon. You just go and play online.
True.
And then at some point something comes. I mean, like, I'm not going to play Mario Golf past the next couple days for the most part. I mean, I'm going to play my campaign mode, be done, and then probably just do, the mayhem, which we'll talk about next.
Yep. And,
that's it. But then when new content comes or new character comes, I'll jump back in and, like, play with it a little bit. So it'll actually keep me coming back.
Yeah.
And, from now and again. So I don't really mind that. I am a little disappointed that I feel like the campaign mode, when we saw it in Mario Golf, was like, this is going to be much better than the tennis mode. And everyone was like, oh, okay, cool. We're going to get a real story mode this time. And we didn't. We're not getting a real story mode. It's really kind of nothing, not really different. I'm not saying it's terrible. I'm enjoying my time going through the mode. It's just not engaging at all. But I like playing the golf. And this is my first Mario Golf game, too. I never really played Mario Golf before. I played a lot of golf games before, but not Mario Golf. And I'm enjoying it. I mean, it's a great game to play when you're just sitting there watching YouTube or Netflix or whatever, and you're just kind of it's been very easy in the campaign mode. I don't know, it might get more difficult with characters, but it doesn't take much work. I'm pretty good at it, so I'm enjoying it. I never planned on playing it for very long anyway. I just want to do the golf league. So, but yeah, it feels like Mario Tennis. It feels fairly empty. It doesn't feel as goofy as older Mario sports titles. I wish they would get more goofy. I wish they would look, you don't have to match Golf Story. But considering the Nintendo characters and everything, I mean, how can you be so far behind what Golf Story does? You couldn't come up with something a little bit interesting? Like, I don't know. It feels so mundane.
I think they're just so all in on the speed rush mode, because I think that's what people think that aren't golfers can adapt to playing this platformer type running game. I will say I played Battle Golf. Excellent. Like, we need to get me, you, and two other guys together and play Battle Golf. That is a ton of fun. So that they did a really good job at Battle Golf, but I think the speed rush mode is exactly, or the speed golf mode is exactly what I thought. It's just kind of lackluster for me.
Yeah.
I will say the speed rush mode is a little bit better once you can pick Nintendo characters. So there's a lot ones that have more strengths and weaknesses over it.
I bet. And give me the motivations. I'm curious to see what the motivations are behind it. But yeah, I mean it's it's.
But yeah, Mario Golf. We'll talk more about it, and as we go on, and reach out to me if you have questions or want to play online.
Yeah.
Number 9.
Drew, we're seeing cloud gaming really expanding on the Switch. We previously had seen it before, sometimes only in Japan. But a game I really loved, Plague Tale, is getting a sequel, and it's coming to Switch via the cloud. And then we also found out that the Guardians of the Galaxy game, which Square Enix spent half their presentation showing us, is also coming to Switch and also coming via the cloud. We also found out this week that the original Plague Tale game is also coming to Switch and coming via cloud. That's actually coming next month. So we're starting to see a bunch of games come in the cloud. And we've talked about this before, but I just want to get a sense again from you. What do you think about cloud gaming on the Switch? And if there was, like, I don't imagine you're going to play a Plague Tale or Guardians of the Galaxy, but if there was a game that came out, let's say Diablo 4, there's a very real possibility that could become a cloud game. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, actually, I may play Guardians of the Galaxy. Again, depends on what's my radar. But, for me personally, I could care less, I guess. I mean, I prefer something that I don't have to use the internet for. I guess I say that, not that, especially on the Switch. Let me say it this way. I'm not a big Switch guy as far as going out and bringing it places and playing. I do a little bit, but not a lot. I don't travel too much. Usually if I go somewhere, I'm not sitting there. So for me, it's not a big deal. But for people that do play on the go a lot, cloud gaming is broken, right? Essentially, if I understand it correctly.
It's not designed to be playing on the go.
Correct. But as far as sitting in my house, this gives me as a sole, Nintendo console owner only, the opportunity to play some of these other games. For example, Guardians of the Galaxy. Another example I'm thinking of is the Avatar game. I know people give hate all you want on it. I want to play that game. I'm not finding net spots to play that game.
That could be a cloud game. Yeah.
If that was a cloud game, I'd be ecstatic and I'd pay for it and I'd play it on Switch.
Okay.
So if it opens up doors, sure. But I don't know. I guess I've never played one, so I can't say from experience anything good or bad. But
yeah,
it's funny because I don't know. I don't know. What about you?
I can say, like, I am really happy. Like, I'm like a dual system guy, right? I have an Xbox and I have a Switch, and that's usually how I am. I'm usually dual system. And I really enjoyed Plague Tale on Xbox, and I wouldn't play that on the Switch. I mean, my favorite game of all time, Life is Strange, right? Life is Strange Remastered is coming to the Switch. I will likely not play it on the Switch because I want to play it on the Xbox. I want the best possible experience. So I don't really love when these third-party games get ported to the Switch because you're not getting the best experience. So I'm kind of glad that A Plague Tale is a cloud game on the Switch because I think people should play it the way it should be played. But on the other hand, I would never play a cloud game. No interest in the world for cloud games. Part of it is because I like having my games physical, although I don't need to have them physical. I have plenty of digital games too. But if given the preference, I like physical. There's just something about that I don't even own it digitally. I just have a license to go play it on a cloud server. And just that, I don't like it. Plus, I am very much a person that likes to play on the go. I like to play in different places. I like to go outside. Mm-hmm. I don't want to be glued to my Wi-Fi. I just don't. I do a lot. When I play my games, I do a lot of putting the game to sleep, coming back, putting it to sleep, coming back. I don't sit there for 2 hours straight. I don't have that kind of time. I have 3 kids. I have family. Sometimes I just want to shut it off for like 2 minutes, rest my brain or whatever. So cloud gaming doesn't really let me do that in a real reliable, nice way. So I know I'm not going to play Guardians of the Galaxy. If I decided to play that game, which I won't, I would just buy it on Xbox before I got it on the cloud. Mm-hmm. And that's it. I mean, like, there are some games that, like, if you told me the Life is Strange True Colors was going to be on the cloud on the Switch, I still wouldn't play it on the Switch. I'm just really not into cloud gaming. But I still would like to see Nintendo Online have a official cloud gaming section. In fact, I can see that coming down the road where you see a whole section of cloud games, the way you see Nintendo Switch Online on your console. And, they should be sold for cheaper because there is that implied non-ownership. But yeah, I'm just personally like, I don't want to play them on the cloud. So even if they're cheaper than, buying a digital version, I'm just really not into it. But we're seeing it happen more and more. So I expect to see it quarters explode and expect to see it on the Switch Online, I guess. But that's cool that you're going to play Guardians of the Galaxy. I really didn't think that you would get into that.
If there's nothing else out, I'll play it.
There's so much coming out, but I know.
I
don't always agree, but yeah. So, cool.
Number 8.
Amouranth and IndieFoxx from our good old Twitch has been suspended. Or banned, partial ban.
Had been suspended.
Why do they call it banned? I feel like banned means like for life.
No, I mean, she was suspended for a few days. She's
she's back. I'm watching her right now. She has, I can't even.
She's still eating?
Put into no. She has a horse mask on, and she's making horse noises.
Oh, is she doing that again? Oh, I thought you were watching some old clip.
No,
Oh.
this is live.
Yes, I see it. So there was a video going around of her doing this with the horse head thing, and it was kind of like, look what's happening or whatever. But like, I kind of see it as kind of a joke. I actually don't understand why she's doing that. I think it's like to get around something. I don't know.
I don't know either, but we need to talk about the hot tub dream is pretty much done. I mean, I don't watch this woman regularly, but I haven't seen her in a hot tub in a long time. The new Twitch phase is ASMR, which stands for Autonomous Sensory Mirandin Response, which is just this weird ass. I mean, they're just licking the microphone, essentially, making sound effects that are supposed to be soothing. They say it's supposed to be pleasant, and it's supposed to, make the hairs on the back of your neck stand up. It's a sensation. For me, it's just fucking weird.
Are you into it? Have you tried it?
I don't know what you mean by it. I tried it. I mean, I've watched it on her, and I listened, but it just kind of skeeves me out more than anything.
All right. Well, here's what we're gonna do, Drew. I have a clip from Amouranth doing this ASMR, and I want to make sure everyone got to experience it. So I sent this clip to you. You can listen to it along with the rest of us.
Oh boy.
Let's play it. This is what's happening. This is Amouranth doing some ASMR, and
okay.
Let us know, guys, what you think. We'll talk about it again next time. I'm going to play it for you right now. I like her.
I'll tell you what. I'm losing respect for these women. Not that there was ever much there to begin with, but I mean, it sounds like she's chewing bubble gum in my ear while talking Elvish. I mean, I don't.
I think she's licking her chops more because I actually tried to do this on my microphone just to see what it sounded like, and it doesn't come across. I was literally going to play it for you, and then hopefully you would be turned on by it, and then I was going to tell you that it was me. But I couldn't get it. I couldn't get it to work right. So she has like a very high sensitivity microphone, and I think she's licking her chops a little bit more just so you can hear it more. I look, it's not like for me, but it's definitely like if you are obsessed with Amouranth or whoever you're watching on Twitch, it's as personal as you can get.
Is it?
And it's like right up to your ear. It's like they're whispering in your ear, and if you need that.
It's the left and the right headphone.
Yes.
And she's on there doing it.
She has a special microphone, yeah.
They all do.
Here, let me just remind everyone of this. She's doing this because people like it and pay money for it. Okay? So if nobody wanted this, she wouldn't do it. So we can't say like we don't need this. There's people who want this. But I feel like Twitch is in a phase where the hot tub thing was a sort of
short-lived.
It was a symptom. Yeah, it's still going on, but like I think what it is people are exploring niches, right?
Yeah.
Like it's not enough to just be a gamer and maybe like pretty yourself up if you're a girl, or play Fortnite really well or whatever. It's trying to find your niche, something that you're doing that other people aren't doing. And so they did the hot tubs. The hot tubs became a thing. It became a category. And now it's like, oh, let's do the ASMR stuff. And they're going to move on to something else. They're going to find instead of just playing a game now on Twitch, we're saying, what new creative things can we do? And if you're the first one to do it and you're doing it well, and we know Amouranth, you can criticize Amouranth all you want. And we've seen it. What she does really well. She's the best at what she's doing. You might not like it, but she's really good at it. Because I've looked at a bunch of hot tub. I have a whole folder here of pictures I'm going to show Drew next time.
Ooh.
And they are not good at it. And I'll give you a clue. I was watching a stream of a woman doing a hot tub, fell asleep
Amazing.
in the hot tub.
That's amazing.
And for like a half hour.
Is that like?
And I can't remember who I was writing. It was Tim. Tim was up with me. This was like at midnight. And I was showing him the stream. And we're watching this woman who fell asleep on an inflatable in a hot tub for like a half hour. And she was really asleep.
These girls are streaming for like 8 hours at a time. It's incredible.
Yeah. And she's really good. Yeah, I was watching her earlier to see what she was up to, and I put a picture in the group. She's really good at what she does. So
Amouranth has an OnlyFans page now.
Oh, she's had one. Yeah.
You know what we need to do for all the dads out there? I feel like we need to maybe we should open up a Patreon that has like secret access to this OnlyFans, and it's like a cover up. So like when the wife sees like, you know, the $2 or $5 withdrawal, it'll be like, oh, Nintendo Dads After Dark, you know, Patreon. But really, it's giving you like the username and login to Amouranth.
Right.
OnlyFans.
Right. Yeah.
You know?
She's good at what she does. I hope she makes tons of money. She's good at what she does. You know, some of these other people are trying to like jump on the coattails, and they cannot even approach.
I'd like to pity. She's lifting the air thing. I'd like to piggyback off what the Nintendo dad said last week when I think it was somebody, maybe Metro Dragon, asked the question about YouTubers and being fans and friends, right? Everyone that's throwing your money at these girls, they're not your friends. You're never getting in bed with them. It's just crazy. I mean, like, what does it gain for them on Twitch to give them a subscription or $5 or whatever? Like, what does it mean? Would it turn you on if she wrote your name on her forehead?
No, but I mean, it does feed people who are obsessive, and they have to be careful with it. I mean, they're making money on it, but they have to understand when they write somebody's name on them or, you know, call them out or whatever, that you're making someone feel like very attached to you, and you could then become in some danger. Because I guarantee you I mean, she's got almost 4 million followers. Some percentage of her followers are obsessed with her and probably trying to figure out where she lives.
Agree. She has over 20,000 subscriptions. Is that like $5 a subscription?
That's basically like extra money.
So she's getting like $100,000 just for Twitch subscriptions.
I had seen that her suspension, like she makes like $40,000 a month on Twitch. That's not even like including OnlyFans, Patreon. She has. I mean, I'm sure there's. It's ridiculous. And she's in a mode where she's streaming a lot because she's making tons of money, and she knows like in a month it could all dry up. You know, the next hot thing comes out or whatever. So she's just making her money, and you know, good for her. But I sent you a picture of the two, Amouranth and IndieFoxx.
Oh yes, let me see.
Because I was curious, what's IndieFoxx look like? And it's like IndieFoxx has like 2 million subscribers, so she's doing pretty well. But even like she just can't keep up with Amouranth either. Nope. Yeah. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see. I think there's gonna be some new stuff that happens. Like, I think every week you're going to see some new thing happening on Twitch. Good.
I'm also at the ASMR stuff. Yes. I'm going to skip this one.
Okay. I'll send you some more. I'll send you some of my ASMR.
Oh, that's all I need, John. I'll listen to it while I play Mario Golf. Thank you.
Number 7.
Drew, I'll bring it up. You were undefeated in the Ice Hockey League in the Dad's Discord, 6-0. And came 2-4. Zablanc. He had only won 2 matches the entire season. And he came in and he shed the slump and throttled Drew 13-6.
Well, you know what?
The upset of this, it was the biggest upset, Drew. the biggest upset since the Miracle on Ice.
Let's rewind here. I have a few things to say about this. Number one, prior to the Discord Ice Hockey League, me and you have actually played this game a few times together online. And if I remember correctly, I don't think I ever beat you.
We never played. We didn't play that many games. There was one time you bailed after a period.
Yeah, you kicked my ass.
Yeah, and you were like, I gotta go to the mall. But I went through a slump, and then you beat me in the league.
Let me say this: going into the league, I did not think I was by far like the best. I was like, I'm gonna be like maybe like a 3-3. I thought I was okay. I didn't think I was great at this game. And then when I started winning, and I beat you, and I beat some other good players, I was like, okay. Like I don't think I ever deserved to be 6-0. I think that's my first problem.
You got through some tough players. Yeah, you did.
But I didn't expect to be sitting. I feel like I got a little lucky, and then I had a bye the last week of the season, and then I had a bye in the first round of the playoffs. So I didn't play for like 3 weeks. I was rusty. I just didn't feel good. That's that. Number 2, Ice State. We gotta talk about Ice Date, Gate, because John, there was quite the controversy with this win that you had, and I want all the fans to know what happened. So we scheduled the time, we started the game up, we picked our teams. I got my fatties and skinny, and we play the game. And I come out hot, on fire, like Team Russia, and I'm winning 2-0. What, like
3 minutes?
3 minutes into the game, and then what's happened? All of a sudden, John disconnects. He says, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I turned my switch off." Like, I don't even know what that means, first of all. And then all of a sudden, he booted the game back up, and we had to restart, right? And he can say, "Well, I'll spot you 2." No, I was defeated. I had 2-0 lead on the scoreboard. I felt great. I was on fire. Semifinals. No, we had to start over 0-0. And then I felt pressured. Yep, Ice State. It's a thing. John knows all about it, and I don't feel good about it. Third thing I'm going to bring up. The better man won. That's all I'm going to say. John played well. I was not playing well that night. Better man won that game. That's the fact. I wish it was the best out of 3. I truly do, because I will say you definitely deserved the win there. You had some really good defense. I tried to get it by you, but at the end of the day, it is what it is.
It's a bit streaky. Yeah, I was in a slump going in. I'll be honest, Drew. I thought I was going to run away with this league.
I thought so too, to be honest. I thought you would.
I was kind of killing Chris HL94. I was beating you, and I didn't know who else was really gonna. Well, who's an NES ice hockey player, And yeah, like Crazy Greek J beat me first, and then I lost to Chris HL. I lost to you, and then I did a forfeit to Tim because we just couldn't find a time to play, and it didn't really matter. In the league, I still was going to play in the same playoff spot anyway. But yeah, before our game, I scouted you. I had a recording of our game. I posted on YouTube, and I decided to watch it and scout because usually I can score really well, and I couldn't score anymore. And I did some scouting. I saw some errors in my offensive play. Mm-hmm. I was kind of scouting how you shoot, and I was like preparing better for those kind of shots, although it's hard to really practice against it. Yeah. But I had scouted when we played. I didn't win any face-offs. I didn't win any fights. Mm-hmm. And it was because I had the all fatties. Yep. And I said, I'm going to put a skinny in to do all my, face-offs. And then it turned out you were doing that already. Yes. So I was like, oh, that's okay. That makes sense. And that helped me a lot. I think I won at least half the. Yeah, you still played pretty well, but it was pretty even. But like when we started that game and you were up 2-0, I was like Zelda, right? Like everything I had done until now was all for nothing. Like you were you were beating me even more. And when I watched the game against you, I actually had a good lead early on. Like I forgot how well I was playing until you just throttled me at the end.
It happens. You get in a rhythm. I mean, the same thing with us. Our game, you always were beating me, but it wasn't 13 sits the whole game. You scored, I think it was like 9 sits, or it was, I don't even know. It was pretty. It was only a couple goals
I
going
kind
into
of
the
ran
third
away at
period.
the end. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the other thing I was doing is in order to work on my face-offs, I have a way of tapping where I hold the controller and then I move the controller. I'm kind of like doing it here, but I move
Yeah.
controller up and down on my thumb.
Okay.
And I was doing that in my first playoff match with Sandy Rod. And I know, like, if you just press A, when I do that, I can only just press A. So it shoots the puck straight backwards. So I don't even get access to it. I have to go get it. So when I was practicing for you, I was practicing where I was holding the controller, but with my index finger, I was holding the up button, the up on the D-pad, so that when I did this and won the face-off, it would go to my player. So that was an improvement that I made as well. And
so you use your thumb. I use my right index finger to tap A.
Yeah, so you kind of put it down and go tap 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 like that. I'm
just trying to hold the controller. Yeah, that's how
I'm just terrible at it. But yeah, you came out as a house of fire, and what happened was when I was holding the controller, because I'm using the NES controller.
Ooh.
When I was holding the controller and putting my finger down, I had my thumb on the SR button accidentally. And if you hold that button down for a couple seconds, it brings up your sleep menu. So then I'm sitting there tapping the A button, and the sleep menu came up and pressed A. So that's what happened. So I had to just make sure I wasn't holding down that button. I kind of wish you could disable that on the
control. To be when I was winning 2-0.
I'm glad it happened early in the game, and and then I figured it out sort of, and I was more careful. But yeah, but that was a good game. I was pretty proud of the upset. I was nervous I was going to win by a couple goals, and we'd be like, how do we resolve this?
Yeah.
But I pounded you pretty good, so.
Well, I mean, there's. It's just, the motivation was out the window at that point. The rally caps were gone.
It's been a fun league. It's taken a while.
Job.
Yeah, it's taken a while. We do one match per week. What I've noticed like this week is after I beat you, I'd set up the finals match with Crazy Greek Dre, which is a big revenge match because I lost to him earlier in the year. And we actually ended up playing a couple of games right away, a few hours after our matchup.
That's not this one, right?
But yeah, so I won game 1 by like a similar score by 7. I was pretty confident I was just going to win because like how could it really change? But then he throttled me pretty good in game 2. And it's been like 6 days since game 3. He's ducking me, Drew.
Nervous. He's studying the tape.
He wants to. Yeah, he tends to be able to play late at night, but I can't.
I think he works till like 10 or 10:30.
Yeah,
I think he has a second shift type job, so that's tough.
I mean, I can play late at night, but there's this time frame where me and my wife are watching Netflix or whatever, so it just doesn't work out.
Netflix and chill.
But yeah, we're down to a game 3 to decide everything, and so that should happen within the next day or two, hopefully. So yeah, it's been fun. Thank you, Chris HL94. I hope they make NHL 94 on Switch just for you.
Yes.
Let's step up the intensity. Ouch! Now that was a great workout.
Number 6.
Mario Golf League. People call it monthly mayhem going. I'm not even looking at it as monthly mayhem. I'm just calling it Mario Golf League, folks. John, can you freaking believe that we have 29 people have signed up for this golf league? That is incredible.
And you said several people have signed up to the Discord just to play it.
Yeah, there was, I want to say at least 5 people joined Discord, first timers, just to play in the golf league. Incredible.
Mm-hmm.
This is so much. Yeah, there's people signing up that I've never seen their names before.
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting private messages from people, talking to me about loving the show and that they want to play in monthly mayhem. It's their first one and they're so excited. This is fantastic. This is great. I mean, when you have over $150 in prizes, John, I mean, trust people. It's a lot of money. A lot of, and I think the way we're doing it, not into all the small details, but there's a guarantee of at least 5 different people that will win the money, with the potential of 9 different people winning money. but there's going to be a couple small prizes that someone could win twice. So that's going to be exciting. But yeah, I'm stoked for this, and registration is open, and registration ends July 3rd. So that's this Saturday.
Yep.
You have to have your name in the bucket if you want to play, and that's just what planning this whole thing out. It's going to take time to plan it. All day Sunday will give me time to go and prep it, and then what's going to happen is every Sunday night or Monday morning, depending on when I get to it, if I finished it early Sunday, I'll just post it. There's no point in waiting until Monday to give you guys an extra day. But if not, it'll be Monday morning. And every Sunday, Monday, there's going to be rules for that week. It's pretty much going to tell you, what course to play, which tees, what's your wind conditions. Do you have to use a certain character? Are you playing stroke golf? Are you playing speed golf? Whatever it's going to be is all going to be laid out in a rules sheet that comes out every week. You guys are going to go play your rules, and then you're going to submit your scorecard at the end. So don't jam A after the round. Wait, your scorecard's going to pop up. Take a picture of your scorecard, and you're going to private message me in Discord. You're not going to post it in the Golf League channel. You're going to private message me, because if you post it in the Golf League channel, I'll never find them all. Private message it to me. I'll get it. And then what we'll do is I'll have all 29, hopefully 30 people, and I'll rank them based on your score, and it will just be like Mario Kart, right? Mario Kart, you come in first place, you get, 15 points, seconds, 14, 13, 12. It's going to be very similar to that for this weekly totals, and then, you get your total points for the week, and then you're going to carry over to the next week, and you'll have a cumulative total, and then we'll have playoffs at the end of the year. And I'm thinking they're going to have like a Sweet 16. So only about 50% of the people will make playoffs, and it'll be fun. It's going to be a blast. I'm excited. This is going to be so much fun. I can't wait. And in the meantime, if you guys want to play online and stuff, let me know. I'd love to play.
Yeah, and this is Mayhem, just to clarify.
Yes.
This is our monthly Mayhem. There is no monthly Mayhem. This is it. So if you want to get on monthly Mayhem, this is your chance. Mm-hmm. There's no alternatives there. But we'll come back. We already have a good idea for what the next Mayhem will be. But yeah, we're gonna do Golf League for a little while, and it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a blast.
And like I said earlier, this is gonna keep people to keep playing. It's gonna motivate people to get your star clubs, your gold clubs. It's gonna motivate people to try different characters, different courses, and keep practicing and playing. There's no rules as far as how many times you can play, but once you submit a score to me, that's it. You're not going to submit 4 or 5. Submit 1. That's all I'm asking for, folks. So if you want to play the course 4 or 5 times, I don't know that. Just submit 1 score to me. Because, again, once you submit it to me, I'm going to go into my computer and I'm going to upload that score. I'm not going to go back and change it. We have 30 people we're dealing with here, guys. We're not getting paid to do this. This is for fun. So we've got to make it simple.
Yeah, and it'll be helpful that you don't see other people's scores. So you don't have to constantly feel like you have to keep one-upping somebody else. You just do the best you can. When you get exhausted, send your score, and get on with your week. Get on with your life.
Get on with it. That's right.
Yeah.
But that's it. Mario Golf League. I'm ecstatic, folks. If you have not signed up, do so right now. Remember, you have to be part of the Nintendo Dad Discord. You can do that by paying $1 a month to their Patreon page. You can do that by if you sign up for their Twitch subscription. I think that counts, right?
I don't know. Yeah, I think you can get Discord. Don't quote me on that, but there's other ways to get into Discord. You just need to find your way into Dad's Discord.
Yeah, find your way into Nintendo Dad's Discord, and then look for the Mario Golf League channel, and ping me at Drew that you're joining in, and I'll put a little number next to your name that means you're in. All right, that's it for the Mario Golf League.
4.
Number 5.
Drew, E3 is over. I've got something that just keeps bugging me. I've brought it up before, but it just keeps bugging me. Do long game delays where you are not providing information to your fan base, does it hurt your company? I bring this up because we, again, did not see any information on Silksong, which is the much ballyhooed follow-up to Hollow Knight. I did some research on this. I did a lot of research this week, actually. Almost like we have a real podcast here sometimes. And Silksong was teased February 14th, 2019. That is over 2 years ago. And when we saw that footage, we saw a game that resembled Hollow Knight, but you were playing as a different character. And the thing about it is they really gave you the sense that the game was coming pretty soon. And not only has it not seen a release in 2 years, we've gotten next to no information about the game. There was, I remember they had said something about a boss was added that was inspired by some kid. But, like, we haven't seen new footage. We haven't seen anything. And I understand they're working on the game for a couple of years, but there's a lot of hardcore Hollow Knight fans that are waiting on Silksong. Could you throw another trailer or like another 5 seconds of footage or something like that? It's been 2 years. Very noticeable. Miniko's Night Market is another game. This one's fascinating to me, Drew.
Yeah.
Miniko's Night Market is a game with cats. You might remember it. It was teased August 28th, 2018. That is almost 3 years ago now. And the thing about it is Miniko's Night Market is like a game that involves a lot of cats. And it's very much for an Animal Crossing crowd. It's not an Animal Crossing game, but it's cute and it looks fun. And it really is for, well, as you know, it's for people who play Animal Crossing, Harvest Moon. It's not the same game, but it's that same sort of genre. And I remember seeing it, and I remember telling Michelle, hey, look, here's a game that you would like while you wait for Animal Crossing. But here's the thing, Drew. This game was teased before we ever got an announcement for Animal Crossing. Nobody knew Animal Crossing was coming on August 28th, 2018. And in the time that we saw a pretty meaty trailer for Miniko's Night Market, we saw lots of pieces of this game. Now, it wasn't just like 5 seconds. It was like, a minute. In the time since then, Animal Crossing got announced. Animal Crossing got a date. Animal Crossing got delayed. Animal Crossing was released. We have had an entire pandemic, which we're still in, and people are now at the point where they have played Animal Crossing for like 15 months and are complaining that they want more DLC. And we still have not seen one more trailer for Miniko's Night Market. Think about all that has happened, and we still have not seen another trailer. So before we get on with the next one, let me ask you this. Do you think that an anticipated game, I don't know if you have any personal examples of this, where you're not releasing information, after a year or so, do you think that can make people very upset about your game, or maybe make them lose interest entirely?
I think there's two things here. I think showing, and again, I'm not going to pretend I understand how game development works, right, that much. But I will say, I think I understand why they don't show video or even screenshots, right? Because stuff's constantly changing, right? Let's say. But I don't understand why you can't just do a tweet, a little release update that just says, didn't Sports Story just do this? Hey guys, we're actively working on this. We made a lot of progress lately. Some things took, a lot longer than we anticipated, but we're still working on it. That, okay. I mean, if I was a video game company, what stops you from doing that once a month?
Exactly.
Like even if it's just coding and there's nothing happened, just saying, yep, another month of just boring behind the scenes coding. But hey, here's a screenshot of this new character we developed. I don't know, something. So I get it. I don't understand why the silence. That is what I don't understand.
Right. In the time that you've been making this game, you could put out just a few seconds of footage. You could put, just a little bit, just to really let your fans, people who are excited about a game, know it's coming, it's still there, and get them excited again. Get some publicity, get in the news. Even if you put out a little tweet, you're going to have podcasts like ours, Nintendo Dads, all of them talking about it. And that's free advertising. You don't have to pay for. Just show a little footage from the game. What's your worry? It's, footage is going to change before a game is released. We all know that. No one's going to hold you to it. So, I mean, it's so bizarre.
Yeah.
It's just weird.
I don't get it. I'm not a developer, but I don't. It's not hard to put a little statement. I mean, you gotta make it fun, but you can make it fun, right? Like I said, you could make it fun. You know, one sentence is all you need, or two sentences, and make it fun.
Exactly. You have a huge fan base.
Yep.
The last one here, I still can't tell it, and I'll give you a personal feeling about it. We got the Bayonetta 3 teaser December 7th, 2017.
That's
Drew,
ridiculous.
Donald Trump was president for 11 months at this point. I mean, that's how long ago this was. It was incredibly long ago. And here is where it gets personal for me. When this game was announced, Bayonetta 2 was my king of the castle. It was my favorite game of all time. Since then, it's probably like my fifth favorite game of all time. And a lot of the reason is this internal resentment that we're just not getting any information. I'm starting to feel like when they announced this, they did the same thing as Metroid Prime 4. They just had some designer put together some stock stuff, some generic stuff in a couple days and made a little teaser. I remember trying to analyze the trailer to see what the story was going to be about. But my God, any thoughts that what was in that trailer and that teaser is anything what the story is going to be is nonsense. Yeah. It's nothing to do with it at all. And you know, where's the game? How come we're not getting information? I feel like, did they drop it? Did they restart it? Why can't they give us some information? They said 3 years ago, it's going well. News will be coming out soon. I mean, it's like, so I feel lied to, and it does. My love for Platinum is not what it used to be. And a lot of this is this sort of nonsense. If you want to tell me, hey, we had some trouble with the development, it's delayed, just tell me. It's fine. You know, I feel like I'm not entitled to this information. However, I have invested money in Bayonetta 2 for the Wii U, Bayonetta 2, which I bought again for the Switch. I bought Wonderful 101 for the Wii U. I bought Wonderful 101 for the Switch. I feel like I have invested money in you. Could you just give me some information? Just a little bit. Just let me know. Like, show me a little footage. You know, just get me a little excited. So I feel like game companies do need to wise up. Team Cherry, Platinum, they've done great work, but they're really dropping the ball here, and they're kind of alienating on an audience. Like the Yacht Club games people did this with Shovel Knight. It really alienates people. It makes them feel like the money they've invested buying your stuff is being taken for granted, and you have to be careful with that. With that said, will I buy all three of these games when they come out? Yes, I will.
I still need to play these.
Right,
maybe they have a nice remake.
But like I said, where Bayonetta is in my heart is different than it was years ago because of it. So that's all I have to say for it. But come on, let's get some news.
Number 4.
Xbox Design Lab is back. They're now showing Series X controllers. You can design your own Series X controller. When they announced this during E3. I went right to their design site and started making a New York Mets controller.
Okay.
I had fun with it. I dropped the design. I came back to it the next day. I made an improved design. Really loved it. Some orange and black and midnight blue and all that. And then, while I was on vacation, I designed it up and I sent it for order. So in July, I'm going to get my Mets controller. Very excited.
How much do these cost?
They really cost the price of a controller. There is if you want to get it engraved, it costs $10. But otherwise, it's $70, which is exactly what you would pay in store for any controller. So basically, you get the customization for free, which is great. I mean,
Wow.
My question for you is, does Nintendo need to do this?
I don't see why not. I mean, you can't even order single color Joy-Cons, correct?
In Japan, you
Oh,
can
Japan, they have like the a form of it, but
you can order 2 Joy-Cons and get like whatever colors you want. I don't think that the nature of it is you don't get this kind of customization because there's just so many dingbats on an Xbox controller.
Mhm.
But yeah, you can customize. You can see the front of the controller, the back of the
Yeah,
controller,
I just played around with it. I
bumpers,
mean, it's
triggers,
amazing.
D-pad. It's cool. And people are doing sports stuff. I mean, one of the main ways it was advertised was the guy that was announcing it was like showing his Lakers controller. They give you, what does it look like? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10, 11, like 18 different colors you can use. You can't customize your own RGB value.
Yeah,
But they give you 18 colors. And I
yeah.
can tell you, when I was like designing various things just for fun, whenever I needed a color, there it just always seemed to be there. I didn't feel like I was lacking.
Yeah. I
I
agree.
did the mech controller, and the orange and the blue were like already perfect. So it's really fun. You can do some really cool designs and fades and stuff like that.
I love it. I think it's
Yeah.
great. I mean, I think Nintendo wants to nickel and dime at every penny they can, and when you
Mm.
do stuff like this, it costs money. Microsoft can just go over to the Nets department over and say, design a web page that's interactive like this for me. Nintendo obviously has that in house, but Microsoft is Microsoft. They're going to be able to probably steal this customization page somewhere else of that they already own and just change it over a little bit. And then they probably don't care about losing, a couple dollars for the
Right.
paint and customization where Nintendo does. Nintendo is making money through one way. Microsoft is making money everywhere. So I think that's where you get stuff like that. But at the same time, they force people like you or I would have done this to buy another controller where you probably didn't need one.
I did not. And when I got my Xbox, I was only going to have like one controller.
Yep,
And then I got a second just for a 2-player game.
of course.
And
Now you
now
got a
I
third.
have 4. I
Oh,
ordered this
jeez.
one. This is my 5th. But I am going to sell one of my controllers. I can't go over 4. It doesn't make any sense.
No.
So I'm going to sell my blue controller.
But that's my
Yeah.
point. Is it's genius marketing for example, if they did this with Joy-Cons tomorrow, most
Yep.
people might not even need a Joy-Con. I have 2 sets of Joy-Cons. That's all I've ever owned. I got the ones that came with my Switch, the red and the blue, and I have like the neon yellow ones.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. You
Yep.
know,
Yeah.
that's all I have. So I do have the Skyward Sword ones coming. So again, I don't even need that many. So
You
now I
no,
have-
you don't. You definitely don't need that many. They're more to freshen up. I find when I get new Joy-Cons that they connect really solidly in handheld mode, and they just give you like a little boost in energy. You're like, a new
Oh,
look,
yeah.
a fresh look.
Exactly. But if they keep out customization once tomorrow, now I'd have 4 pairs.
Do you think that if you were like deciding between an Xbox and a PlayStation, but you can customize your controller to maybe be your sports team or whatever, that would make you want to buy an Xbox? I think so.
That would make me want to buy one.
Maybe not you, but there's people out there that'd be like, ooh, I can make a Lakers controller. All right, I'm going to do that and get an Xbox. It's going to be somebody.
Maybe. Or they'd buy another one if they're a diehard Xbox fan.
I mean, have you seen the Disney themed controllers that people are making? I mean,
I have not.
See, that's think about your favorite character, right? Your Peter Pan guy.
Yeah.
And there's, you can do Peter Pan colors and make a Xbox controller, and then maybe go, hey, I like that. I'm going to get an Xbox.
Well, that seems like buy an Xbox is like I could get a customized controller.
I mean, would you subscribe to a girl on Twitch if she writes your name on your thigh? Sure.
No, I wouldn't. I would subscribe maybe if she got naked.
Number 3.
So, John, we've been having quite the conversation in our Discord lately, and I'd like to know your take on the backyard, let's say, pests. The annoyances on your property. We all as men and some women out there work hard to keep the grass short, the hedges trimmed,
Ugh,
the
yeah.
flowers blooming.
Uh-huh.
Everybody wants their yard to look nice, right?
Yeah.
We've had Hambone Johnny, just a neighbor of mine, lives just south of me. He's
Monster.
been having some bunny problems. where the bunnies are infesting his lawn, eating his grass, making yellow spots, dead spots. I don't know, eating flowers. You had any of these situations happening?
I do. I'll start by saying Hambone Johnny's a monster. You're a monster, Hambone Johnny.
Hey, I back him on this one.
Separating families, Hambone Johnny. Yeah, I know we have bunnies in the backyard. They poop a lot, and for a while I thought they were kind of like messing up my grass, but then it kind of turned out it was a fungal thing and it wasn't related. My wife loves like the animals. Like we hope someday we get some foxes or coyotes, but but still, we have lots of bunnies. Every time you look in our backyard, you can probably find a bunny eating some grass or whatever. But my grass looks good. They're not destroying it in any way. They're certainly like nipping at it, but nothing that like makes me go, get the hell out. But definitely like I'm iffy on capturing and releasing them like a couple miles away because you're capturing parent bunnies.
Oh, John, you think they know the difference?
If you capture a bunny, it's either it's a mommy bunny, a daddy bunny, or a child bunny. Which is the better situation?
What
tragic.
If you wait and capture them all together?
Yeah, well, how could you know that they're a family?
Because they don't even know. They don't take care of each other. They don't care. They're just bunnies.
What are you going to do? Capture one and then keep it stored in your garage for like a week and wait for you to capture like 13 other bunnies and then go, okay, I think we're good. You don't know.
Put them all in the trunk, drive them an hour away. He's probably driving them to my house.
Let the bunnies eat your grass. I mean, I totally get it, though. I'm
all on board. Listen, he could be killing these things.
Well, okay, but you can't say, like, I could be, doing something way worse.
I'd probably put poison out there.
Yeah, I mean, if I had a rogue larger animal that was threatening or something, that's one thing.
Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
If you had mice in your house, would you do anything about it?
Oh, yeah. Oh, I
get it.
So
how is it? Exactly. How is it any different?
Because they're bunnies. Do you ever see the Dennis Leary?
So that's stereotype in there because bunnies are a little cuter. It's okay.
Have you ever seen the Dennis Leary comedy thing where he talked about the animals?
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like, we have the otter. The otters are cute and we treat them. But then the cows we just like dismember and eat. It really does come down to that. These are bunnies. Leave the bunnies alone. I'll squish a bug. I'm not thinking about their family.
You know what I did? I don't know if I told you this story. About a week ago, I got my sprinklers fixed in my backyard, my irrigation system, and I got cedar oil added to my sprinkler line. So once a week, Friday in the evenings, I spray cedar oil all throughout my property, through my sprinklers. It smells fantastic. It smells like fresh cut cedar. But insects, ticks, bugs, mosquitoes, grubs, everything hates the smell of cedar oil.
Really?
And it messes with their senses and they can't smell all their food and stuff. So what it does is it keeps them all out of my yard. It's amazing. I love it.
Yeah. Does it work really well?
It's only been like a week and a half, but yeah, I've noticed less bugs.
Does it attract termites though? Like, I mean, the smell of fresh wood?
Nope.
Interesting.
Fantastic. Cedar oil.
We don't really have those kind of bug problems here, and I don't have a pool, but yeah, that's interesting. Cedar oil. How do you spray it? You put it.
It's I have like a 5-gallon bucket buried in the ground, and it ties into my sprinkler system.
Oh, I see.
And it goes through the sprinkler system, and it only goes once a week. And they say I have 5 gallons. They say you use about 3 gallons a year.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, but it's expensive. It's like $140 a gallon.
But it's for a gallon, I see.
But you think about it, people that come and get their yards sprayed.
Yeah.
That's a lot more than that.
Exactly. Yeah.
So that's the way I look at it.
Interesting.
You
learn something every day.
So Johnny, I respect you. Do what you got to do with those bunnies. Obviously, John's not an advocate, but I'm all on board. As long as they're not bringing them to, Rhode Island. I don't want any more bunnies around here.
# family separation.
Number 2.
Drew, is Nintendo making a mistake? Breath of the Wild was one of the greatest games ever created. It was released March 3rd, 2017. as soon as everyone finished playing that game, they could not wait for the next one. We have a history of sequels. Zelda sequels don't always look like previous games, right? We know Zelda 2 did not look like Zelda 1. Zelda 3 looked like Zelda 1, but it was also like completely rebuilt for a different console. Majora's Mask famously came out a year after Ocarina of Time and shared a lot of assets, different world and everything, but it was very much like the same engine.
Yep.
And then I think, what was the train game? I never really was a big fan.
Hourglass and
Tracks. Phantom.
Spirit Tracks.
Spirit Tracks. Spirit Tracks was like kind of Wind Waker-y, I guess. I don't know. One of them was. But
good point.
Breath of the Wild came out 4 years ago.
It will be 5 by the time it comes out.
By the time the next one comes out, it'll be 5. Does that seem like a long time? Why couldn't they put out a game using the same engine, do some new cutscenes, do some new story, do whatever? I know those things don't take overnight to do.
But not 5 years either.
Right, but how many of those years did you build that Breath of the Wild engine, and you don't have to build that anymore?
I can't imagine they were building that for 10 years. I 100% agree with you. Like, I mind blowing. It's. I mean, what? Let's think about it. We had Link's Awakening come out, right? And that's. I mean, we're gonna have. We will have Skyward Sword,
right? That's in like 3 weeks now. But yeah, like when you saw the Breath of the Wild, I imagine when we saw the Breath of the Wild 2 trailer, it would be like something completely different, because at this point, how could it not be? It's been so many years. And they started working on Breath of the Wild 2 before they even finished the first game.
I'll tell you what, I'm nervous about Breath of the Wild 2. I'm not for this skydiving cloud shit. I don't know. And like you said, the small scenes where he was on the ground, fighting the rock guy and running around a little bit, legit looked like they recorded a trailer from Breath of the Wild 1.
Yeah.
So I agree with you. Like, what the hell have they been doing?
Yeah.
I don't even know if
there's
they
some
can
new
blame,
skills.
They can't even really blame the pandemic, because sure, okay, if it's going to take 5 years minus a year, that's 4 years is too long.
They literally had 3 years before the pandemic happened. Yeah. The trailer didn't blow anybody away, but we didn't get the full trailer. I think when they do a full trailer, it'll be glorious. But yeah, like there's some new skills, but they look like they're right in line with the other skills. They don't look much different. There's nothing mind blowing. Like they reversed some time. They did fire. Okay, but like that's great. But like, how could you wait this long? Like,
I think the only way, the obvious answer is something to do with a Switch Pro. I think that also, I'm thinking the storyline is gonna somehow maybe something to do with Skyward Sword, and that's why they released it, and they need to give players time to play it, right? So if everything's slowly got pushed back, but I don't know. At the same time, I mean, they say 2022. I mean, what's your guess? Are you thinking spring?
It'll be 2022.
Yeah, but spring, or are you thinking like holiday?
I don't know. They don't always. Yeah, they haven't always released those games in the holiday. I think Link's Awakening was in the fall. Obviously, Breath of the Wild was in the spring, but it was more because they were just timing it with the Switch console release and that. But yeah, it's going to be 2022. I don't know when it'll be. I'm thinking probably September in the fall. But yeah, like the trailer should have really blown us away more. There were some moments in the trailer that were really cool, but it should, this is like the sequel to I mean, you could literally just do the same engine, the same looking characters, and just have some different dungeons and stuff, and people would they would blow their minds. And yeah, we didn't really see anything radically different, except for there's definitely some scenes which could benefit from the Switch Pro, but it may not be.
My guess is they took some resources and put it on Hyrule Warriors to write the story and try to tie this all in. But I don't know. I'm gonna be blunt. Don't hate me about this one. I'm kind of not a fan of the Breath of the Wild story. The whole thing with what do they call the champions and the I don't know. I mean, there's other Zelda games that I love the story a lot more. It doesn't mean I don't love the gameplay, but I think for me that's why Breath of the Wild isn't the best Zelda game I've ever played, because the story wise and even the lack of dungeons to me was not great. So I hope they kind of hope they bring back some of the original mechanics. I know also at the same time it's like you want to try something new and different and people don't want the same thing, but why change what's not broken, right?
You want a mix of it. You want it to feel like Breath of the Wild, but you want it to be new and exciting. I have a theory on this, Drew. I can share my theory real quick.
Sure.
Yesterday I watched. It's a really fun reaction video to watch. Watch the Nintendo New York City reaction to the Breath of the Wild video.
Yeah.
And usually you see a lot of hooting and hollering during these reaction videos, although the Wii U years were very much not like the Switch years. But the thing that you'll notice in the video is that everyone is watching this trailer, and I do regard the Breath of the Wild trailer as the greatest game trailer of all time. I firmly believe that. Mm-hmm. And they are watching this with rapt attention. There is no heckling, there is no hooting. It is just they are staring at this in awe, and they cheer at the end. But when they really cheer is March 3rd, 2017. That was the Switch launch day. So it was like the excitement was on day one of your Switch, you'll be playing Breath of the Wild, and the rest is history.
Yeah.
I think that they made a decision at some point, maybe 9 months before, 6 months before, whatever. This game had to be a launch title for the Switch. The Wii U had done so terribly in sales that they had to get the Switch out with Breath of the Wild, and they said, no arguments. Breath of the Wild, Breath of the Wild was in development the entire lifetime of the Wii U, and the Wii U never got its own Zelda game. And they said, no doubts, March 3rd, Breath of the Wild. That is a fact. Now, what do you need to do to get the game out at that date? And I think there was going to be more to the ending of Breath of the Wild. And that's why when you play through Breath of the Wild and you get to the end and you feel a little empty, I think that's part of what didn't make it into the game. They had to get it out by launch day. They had to make some cuts, and that was the cuts. So, yeah, I love Breath of the Wild. I actually didn't mind that there was only like 4 dungeons in the game. Yeah. I like the quickness of the what do they call them?
I'm losing my mind too. Not chambers. What are they called?
Yeah, whatever they call the shrines.
Shrines. That's the word. No, those were fine.
I liked it. Yeah.
Those were fine. I don't know. I'm a traditionalist. I like the fire temple or the water temple or the wind. Yeah. Even the divine beasts, they didn't interconnect like they usually do. And I have no doubts Breath of the Wild 2 will have real dungeons. I think that was... I was just hoping it was like hop on a boat, do a little bit of Wind Waker type stuff, and then go to another island with a different storyline. But yeah, obviously that's not happening.
Yeah,
they're keeping with the same Calamity theme.
I'm excited for it. I just feel like I'm surprised we didn't get more sooner, honestly. So we'll see, but hopefully it'll blow us away.
And number 1.
Drew, I did some research again this week. I got really curious about, we've seen a lot of the indie directs in recent years.
Yeah.
And it's easy to get excited for a game, and it's very easy to forget about a game. Sometimes you miss it and you don't even know what you missed. So I went through the last 4 or so indie directs, and I went through every single game that was announced, recorded when we were told we were going to get it, just to see, what are we waiting on? I just want to know. Mm-hmm. So I just want to run through these. This is not, super opinionated or anything. I just wanted to know for myself, and I thought I'd share with everybody. So
sure.
We'll go through it. Let me know if any of these games are exciting for you or whatever. So the last, the indie direct in the past that I went to that's really a bad way to word it, right? The longest to go indie direct I looked at was December 10th, 2019. Okay, so it's about, year and a half ago or so.
Mm-hmm.
This was the Axiom Verge 2 announcement. Sorry, I dropped my screwdriver. Long story. This was the Indie Direct where they ended with Axiom Verge 2. And in this Direct, we were told about Sports Story. We were told it would be available mid-2020. So clearly it's a year late now. I didn't realize it was this late. I honestly didn't realize it was this late. They have given updates on it. They've expanded their content. They have some really deep stuff going on. So there's a reason why it's been delayed. And they've, back to our previous talk about letting your fans know what's going on. We know Sports Story is coming. We have an update on that it's coming. A game called Sail Forth. This is like a ship game. They said it was coming 2020. We still don't have it. I haven't seen any updates on it. I didn't go through every Twitter account, but we haven't seen any other trailers or anything on Sail Forth. Skatebird, advertised as late 2020.
Oh, yep.
I think that game is coming out or just came out or something. It's coming out. If it's not out, it's coming out really, really soon.
A lot of skateboarding games lately, right? Obviously Tony Hawk. We had Ollie. We had the Aerial Knight thing. We got Skatebird. But there was like 4 or 5. Yeah, interesting.
Yeah. And Ollie World looks good. We'll talk about that. Actually, I don't have it on the list, but Ollie World looks so good. I don't know. I might have to try that. We also had Boyfriend Dungeon announced for 2020. That's still not out.
You play some weird shit. Like, is this on your radar to play?
Is this a fact? Boyfriend Dungeon? No. I thought it was funny and whatever, but in the end, it's really just a gimmick on you're just going through dungeons, but your swords are boys. Whatever. Dreamscaper was advertised for early 2020, still not out yet. And then Axiom Verge 2, which was advertised for fall 2020. Obviously, it's been delayed. Feel like that's coming soon. We've seen some more stuff on Axiom Verge 2 as well. So rest assured that's coming. And I can't wait for it to come. As soon as we get a final date on that, I'm going to play the first one again. I really like that series. I took a look. We fast forward about 4 months. To March 17th, 2020. And this one, we were announced Baldo, which I think is a game a lot of us fell in love with. Kind of an RPG-looking game that looks sort of like Studio Ghibli. Advertised for summer 2020. Still not out yet. I know we've gotten some updates. We've actually seen more footage from that game. That one looks like it could be pretty fun. But according to the first trailer we saw, it's now a year late. We had a game called Bark, advertised for late 2020, still not out yet. Quantum League, late 2020. This is, one of those online league type games. Didn't look interesting, but it's late. The Good Life, 2020, still not out. And Eldest Souls, not Elden Ring, Eldest Souls, summer 2020, still not out yet. August 18th, 2020. This was the everyone remembers this Indie Direct for some reason. This is when they announced Hades and they announced Spiritfarer and a lot of those games. There was one game in here that is late, or well, not late, but we should be expecting news on. Card Shark. It was advertised as 2021. I was really excited by this one. It looked really interesting. Where it's like you have to like scam card games to win. That one said for 2021, so I'm hoping it's still in line for this year. But yeah, I think a lot of people were interested in that game. So, hey, do you remember that game?
Card Shark?
Very cool. Yeah, do you remember when they announced that?
I just looked it up because I was interested, but I don't remember this one.
Okay. Yeah, it like ended with one of the developers or one of the creator of the game doing like some weird card magic stuff or whatever. I don't know, it just looked interesting. I like games that have just like interesting like premises. And then the most recent one that I looked at was December 15th, 2020. We got the announcement of Spelunky in this one. Spelunky
that
and
game looks good.
Summer 2021. Guess what it is right now, Drew?
What?
Summer 2021.
It is. Do we know anything more? What's the last time? Is this the last time we heard anything, or I haven't been following that?
So. Yeah. We haven't heard anything since then. It should still be on track. It still shows as summer 2021 on the eShop.
And now this is a 2-pack for both, and it's not a or 2 is new. Is that right? Or no?
Well, no, 2 is, I think it exists already.
Okay.
Yeah. 2 exists already. And from what I've heard, it's not like you have to play Spelunky and then you can play Spelunky 2. You can play Spelunky 2 right off the bat. In fact, I'm not even going to buy Spelunky 1. I'm just going to play 2. They just say 2 is just a much better version of, excuse me.
Well, then I'll just go with...
It's an improved version of Spelunky, so you don't need Spelunky 1.
Yeah, I'll do that as well.
Play 2. And then one other game that is, or I guess two other ones. Fist of Fluffs.
What's that one?
It was like a cat fighting game or something like that.
That one looks weird.
It was really goofy. That one is coming out. What did they say? They advertised that one early 2021. We're kind of out of that window. So we're still waiting on that one. That one of the people that worked at IGN with Per Schneider actually started the studio that makes Fist of Fluffs. So that's pretty interesting. In fact, he was on NVC a few weeks ago. And then Happy Game. I don't know if you remember Happy Game, but
I do remember Happy Game.
Yeah, that's the one that's called Happy Game, but it looked like a horror game.
Yes, with happy faces. Well, faces, smiley face. Yeah.
I think a lot of people are interested in this one. Advertised as spring 2021, and clearly we are now late on that one. So like I said, I did not do this to criticize publishers or anything in any way, just as a reminder of what we've seen and what we might be excited for. And don't forget, it might be late, but it's coming, and don't forget. So, any games from this list that you're interested in besides Spelunky?
Yeah. Well, Sports Story, of course. I've been waiting for that. Would be one that I'd probably stop when I'm playing. Like, even let's say if Sports Story came out this week, I would play that this week, even with Mario Golf out right now.
Right. Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. Golf Story was really fun. I thought Golf Story was very linear. I wish it was a little bit more open. It was very linear. It was like, do this, do this, do this, do this, done. And I think I was missing one item from the game I've never gotten because I have no idea where it is.
It was fun. Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Sports Story is going to be really great.
Yeah.
Axiom Verge 2 for me for sure. Sports Story, Baldo, definitely going to play Baldo, and Spelunky 2, and maybe Card Sharks. I got to see more on Card Shark. I'm not immediately going to just buy Card Shark. I need to see more, but I was interested. And that's it. That kind of wraps up the topic. And we got pictures of IndieFoxx and Amouranth after that, by the way, but you guys don't get to see it.
Nope, that's our eyes only. Well, John, what do we have coming up in the next few weeks? Not that it matters because Mario Golf League starts up soon, but what else do we have?
Nothing but Mario Golf. We have a lot of things coming out. A lot of things coming out. Some of this stuff is, I have Mario. I don't know why I have Mario Golf Super Rush on the list.
You have a few games that are already out.
That is out. Yeah, like Tony Hawk and Mario Golf. I just don't think we ever really talked about it, but Mario Golf and Tony Hawk, those are out. Legend of Mana is out. Yeah, I'm really bad with it. Legend of Mana is not out. Legend of Mana is July. Who is doing this list?
I don't know if that's true, John.
Who are we firing?
You made the list first of all.
Oh, I made it.
I think Legend of Mana is out, but I could be wrong.
Legend of Mana?
It's out.
Is it out?
It's out.
It is out. Okay.
It's out. Not that any of us care.
Nobody cares. They didn't make Final Fantasy for console.
Well.
So here's what we got coming up. Disgaea 6 is coming out this Tuesday, June 29th. I actually was thinking about getting it for a little while, but I think I'm going to pass on it now. Defiance of Destiny has a cool new art style. I think the game is showing 3D graphics for the first time. It's got a nice kind of cel shaded look to it, but it's still Disgaea too. So, Destroy All Humans, the Xbox version that comes out June 29th. Speaking of retro, Zombies Ate My Neighbors and Ghoul Patrol, that's two separate games, are coming out June 29th. Those are like Super Nintendo classics.
Yep.
June 30th, I'm a little salty on this, Drew. Doki Doki Literature Club Plus.
Please give me the 30-second elevator speech of what this is.
Doki Doki Literature Club Plus is sort of an expanded version of Doki Doki Literature Club, and it is a game that seems sweet and innocent, like a visual novel, but is actually very much a horror game. If you're just looking for something interesting, it's one of those games you don't want to know anything more about it. You don't look anything up, just play it. Don't watch trailers.
Is there nudity in it?
I hope so, but I don't know.
Oh.
I'm a little salty because I ordered the special edition and it got delayed for 2 months.
Whoa! So what are you gonna do?
I'm not gonna double dip. I'm not gonna buy this.
Yes, you are.
No, I'm not.
You're gonna read a spoiler and get so pissed off.
Exactly. That's why I'm pissed off. It's like, I mean, and this is an older game, obviously, but it's coming out on Switch, and I follow Nintendo streams, and people are gonna be playing it for sure. So I'm going to get little bits of information that I don't want to get, and it sucks. So I have to wait for this special edition to come out. I'm not going to buy it. So don't tell me anything. I have to wait till August 20th. And then Monster Hunter Stories 2 Wings of Ruin, July 9th. If you're into Monster Hunter, you might like this. I can tell you I didn't much. I tried the 3DS version like a couple months ago. I was trying to play the 3DS version. I just did. The graphics put me off because it's hard to play 3DS games now. The battle system was kind of bland. I wasn't into it. I was gonna play it and then play this one, and now I think I'm not gonna play either of them. I might play Monster Hunter some more, but I can't play game 2 of an RPG if I didn't play the first one.
Yeah, that's fair.
Tried, so. But it's going to be a big release, so Nintendo's very much hyping it up. And that's it.
Well, John, before Sadie signs us out, I'm going to leave you with this one last thing. It's not the size of your putter that counts. It's how many strokes you take.
I love it.
I love you too, John. This is a fun episode. Mario Golf, folks, go play and sign up for the Golf League. And that's all I have to say. Good night.
That's all there is. Take us away, Sadie.
The Dads After Dark show is a part of the Nintendo Dads family of podcasts. You can subscribe to us anywhere podcasts are available, including iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, and Stitcher. Be sure to join us on the Nintendo Dads Discord in the Dads After Dark show channel for some naughty After Dark talk. Follow us on Twitter @NDadsAfterDark. Ask us a question, and we may answer it on the show. That's all for tonight. Good night, Dads. Sweet dreams.